Hey y'all, welcome and or welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know. And today's video is another soft true crime episode. And so I got my wine right here. And if y'all need y'all wine, go ahead and grab it. I'll wait for y'all. If y'all don't drink wine, that's fine. Rhymes. But whatever you do, whatever you do got, go ahead and get it. Go ahead and get settled in so we can just go ahead and go. So today we're going to be talking about Todd Chance, but before we get into the video, or into the story rather, I wanted to show y'all my new tattoo. It's still peeling, so like, don't come for me. But it say my mama name. Y'all probably can't really see it very well. I mean, y'all can see it, but y'all probably can't tell what it say. It say Tawanda. And yeah, I'm so like, I love this tattoo. Oh my God. I wonder, was it backwards? I don't know. But anyway, like I said, it's still peeling, so don't come for me. But I just wanted to show y'all that because I'm so happy. Like, this is my second tattoo. I got, y'all, the last tattoo that I got was 12 years ago. I was so scared, y'all. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to go ahead and get into this video because I don't want to hold y'all up. So, Todd Chance was born on May 10th, 1968 to his parents, Diana and Travis Chance, in a place called Shafter, California. Y'all, it just took me so long to get there. I kept calling this man Travis Scott. And he had one brother named Scott. I'm not 100% sure if the brother was older or younger, but in any event, he was born in Shafter, California. And if y'all don't know where that is, I didn't either. But it's 20 miles like west, I think, of Bakersfield. And it's actually like a little, I don't know if it's little either, but it's actually a farm town. So Todd actually did grow up on a farm. His parents were farmers and he like grew up like grooming the pigs and taking care of chickens and cows and all stuff like that. You know, he pretty much just lived the farm life, the countryman life, the life that I low-key want to live. I want to farm so bad, y'all. I don't know if I'd be able to get up and maintain the farm, but like, I just really want a farm. I don't know. I've always wanted a farm, but this ain't about me. This is about Todd and his life, not the life that I want to live. So, as far as his home life, he lived a pretty steady life growing up. Him and his family were very, very close. It's not too much that was said about his early childhood and him growing up, except for like that, like I said, he lived a steady life and that his family was close. But it is said that growing up, he had interest in cars, motorcycles, and guns and stuff like that. And he was just a typical country boy. He liked to adventure, like do, I don't know what country boys do, whatever it is that they do. I don't know, because I'm not a country boy. I'm a city girl, so, but not that kind of city girl. No. Anyways, in Todd's early adulthood, he knew that he wanted to start a family. He knew he wanted a wife. He wanted children. He wanted the whole, pretty much what his mom and dad had for him growing up. A steady household, a loving family. And so, when he was in his early 20s, he proposed to his high school sweetheart, Carrie Williams. And they was engaged for a little bit less than a year when Carrie decided that this ain't gonna work. Carrie called off the wedding. I'm pretty sure she called off the wedding because if I'm not mistaken, she called off the wedding because Todd had ended up cheating on her. Now, I don't know if Todd was sad about that or not, but it wouldn't be long before he met another woman, i.e. that same year, while he was working as a security guard for a drugstore. It was a young cashier. Her name was Janae. Actually, her name is Leslie, but she goes by her middle name, which is Janae. And she was a cashier at that same drugstore. So he had got like a little twinkle in his eye for her. He saw her, and apparently she saw him too because, like I said, not too long after that, they started dating. At the time when Todd meets Janae, she is a divorced single mother of a 7-year-old daughter named Jessica, but that didn't deter Todd at all because like I already told y'all, he wanted this family. He wanted a family. He was already engaged, and I'm pretty sure he assumed that him and his would have been wife was going to have kids. So he was like, oh my God, you already have a kid. Perfect. Just what I wanted. So he took Janae's child in as his own as pretty much as soon as they started dating. He fell in love with her and she fell in love with him as a dad. Like, not no creepy type weird stuff like that, but they ended up really, really gravitating towards each other, and it was really just like a father-daughter relationship. And as y'all can imagine, Janae was just like so happy about this because any man willing to take on another man's child, it was just like, I don't want to say it was unheard of, but some men still don't do that now. So just about a year after they met on August 17th of 1996, Janae and Todd would go ahead and tie the knot. And like I told y'all, Todd had built a relationship with Janae's daughter, Jessica. So when he was presenting Janae with her wedding ring, he actually presented Jessica with, I think it was a pearl bracelet with her name on it. And I just thought that was just so sweet. I love little gestures like that where the man lets the child know that I'm not only here for your mom, I'm going to be here for you as well. You know, like, I just think that is so sweet and so cute. After they got married, Janae and Todd would ditch the drugstore, and Todd became a truck driver, and Janae tried to continue her education to become a school teacher, which she did, by the way. And in the course of their marriage, they had two more kids. They had a little daughter named Jessica. No, Jessica's already born. They had a daughter named Sarah, and they had another daughter named Samantha. So now at this point, they have three children. And like I said, Todd is a truck driver, and Janae is now a teacher. But she don't stay a teacher for too long because she actually ended up moving up the ranks. So she went from being a teacher to an administrator, and then eventually she would become a principal at Fairview Elementary School. And yeah, so Janae and Todd was pretty much just living their lives. They was both making pretty good money, and they was living a nice little upper middle class life. That was until on August 25th of 2013 when a couple of men who was working in an almond orchard, they was doing their daily rounds and they came across a dead body. That body would later be identified as Todd Chance. Now, when the investigators got there, it was a couple of things that they noticed about Todd and his body that will kind of help them along in this investigation. So, one, they found that Todd had been shot in the chest at least twice, which ruled out a suicide because I don't know too many people who shooting themselves in the chest twice if they're trying to kill themselves. It's like one and done. I'm not trying to say like, I don't want, like I said, I don't want to be insensitive to the topic, but generally when people commit suicide by shooting themselves, it's not done twice. They found his wallet with money still in it, which ruled out the robbery theory. And there was a lack of blood. So that pretty much told them that he was not killed in this area. Otherwise, there would have been way more blood than there was there. And also, a couple of feet away from him, they found his cell phone, which again ruled out the robbery theory. So since they had his wallet, the wallet still had his ID in it. So that gave them an identification and that gave them an address. So with this information, they go around to his house where he lived with Janae, and Janae opened the door and they deliver her the devastating news that her husband has been found deceased. She starts crying, but the police still have to question her anyways, not as a suspect though, just to get a general idea of what may have happened, of what he was doing that day, why he would have been out towards the orchard or anything else like that. So they get to questioning her and they ask like, what did he do that day and what did she do that day? So she basically said that on this particular day, Todd was supposed to go out to a gun show with his dad. And so he left earlier in the morning, and Janae and the kids pretty much just chilled around the house. So then the police go on and ask the typical questions like, do he have any enemies? The answer was no. Was he into drugs? The answer was no. Does he own any guns? And the answer was yes. Because like I said, Todd had an interest in guns. Janae said that he liked to collect guns. And so the police asked, were all the guns accounted for? And so Janae went back and she counted all the guns, checked everything. And she said there was only one gun that was missing, and it was a .38 caliber revolver that was missing. And that was the only gun that was missing. But it kind of would have made sense that he took it because he was supposed to be going to a gun show. But even though it would have made sense, Janae says she don't know why he would have left with it, because usually he don't leave with his guns to go to the gun show. So then the police realized, hey, he wasn't even found with a car. If he left this morning, then how did he leave? And Janae told them that he left in his black Mustang. And automatically, Janae's daughter, Jessica, was like, oh my gosh, he probably got robbed for his Mustang, because that is a nice car. And when I tell you how nice, I'm going to put a picture of it right here. It's a nice car. And that seemed like the only logical thing that could have happened because, like I said, he didn't have no enemies. He wasn't into drugs. There was just no reason for anybody to want to hurt him because he was the nicest, most sweet, giving guy. Like, nobody wanted to hurt this man. So, first instinct had to be the car. So they realized that now they got to find this car. So the police asked Janae about the car and they like, okay, so, you know, make, model, license plate number, color, all that, like I just said. And then they asked her, they was like, well, do you drive the car? Do anybody else drive the car besides Todd? And she was like, no, don't nobody drive that car. That is his baby. Nobody, not even me. I'm not allowed to drive that car. He is the only one who sits in that driver's seat of that car. And apparently the residents of that neighborhood was just like me, and they seen one too many episodes of Bait Car, and they wasn't going because it looked like a setup. So the police go over there and they get the car, and like I said, when they found it, it still had the keys in it, but they also found a .38 revolver gun underneath the seat. And in the process of getting the car, they was talking to the neighbors, and they learned that one of them actually had footage of a person leaving the car. Now, once they got this footage of the person leaving the car, they couldn't tell who it was because all they saw was a person walking away from the car with a red backpack on. But they ended up following, I guess, kind of the footpath of the person, and they ended up finding a Starbucks that the person had went into. So they viewed the Starbucks footage, and when they viewed the Starbucks footage, they really couldn't tell who it was there either. But all they could tell was that it looked like a person who was dressed up as a man. It looked like a woman dressed as a man, but they couldn't tell who it was. So in the Starbucks footage, all they saw was the person walk past all the people in the line. They went to the bathroom, and then that person came out. But when that person came out, they wasn't dressed in the same stuff they were dressed in before. They had on, everything was different. They had on different shoes, different clothes, like just completely different, but they still couldn't tell who it was. All they know is that they saw through the plastic bag that the person had, they saw like a cylindrical, is that a word? A cylinder type figure that looked like it could be like one of those little bleach containers. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the little bleach wipes. It looked like it could be bleach wipes. And they just left the store, and then they saw them on CCTV at like a Home Depot or like maybe at a hardware store, at some other store, tossing all that stuff in the dumpster. But by the time they saw that footage, the trash had already came and taken it to the dumpster. Because I know I just made it sound like all that happened in one day, but they found the body on August 25th. They found the car on August 25th, and then the CCTV footage happened over the course of a couple days. So my bad. So also within that couple of days, like I told y'all, they have found his phone a couple feet away from him. So they ended up going through his phone, and they found a couple of racy texts from his ex. Turns out that Todd had recently got in contact with his ex, Carrie Williams. Remember his ex-fiance from like back in the day? Yeah, her. He had got in contact with her, and it had started over like Facebook Messenger, and then Todd was like, listen, I don't want to be Facebook friends no more. Let's text. And so she was like, okay, cool, yeah, let's do that. And then next thing you know, he like, send me some pictures, and she just sent him that cat. So the police figured that this could be a motive on her part to get rid of him because he wouldn't leave his wife. So they get in contact with Carrie because Todd clearly had a type, and from the CCTV footage, they couldn't tell. It could have been Janae and it could have been Carrie. They ain't know. So they got in contact with Carrie, and she was like, nope, wasn't me. I got an alibi. She was out of town with her kids, and she ended up getting a parking ticket the same morning that Todd would have been murdered. So they was able to rule her out of that, but they couldn't necessarily rule out Janae. And with all the evidence that they had, you know, piling up and stuff like that, they decided that, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and arrest her. We're just going to go ahead and take her on down because all the signs is pointing to her. It's all circumstantial, by the way, because they can't tell who it is on the footage, and they don't have no physical evidence. But they was like, Janae, let's go. And so just 4 days later, on August 29th, they ended up arresting her. And so while Janae was in custody, they was in her house searching and taking all the evidence that they could. They took the computer, they had took a bunch of pictures, and they just took anything that they felt like could help them in this case. But unfortunately for investigators, just a couple of days later, the prosecutors decided that they didn't have enough hard evidence to be able to take Janae to trial, so they decided to just let her go. They was like, nah, not yet. We think she did it, but we can't prove that she did it. without a reasonable doubt, so y'all gonna have to let her go. And so that's what they did. They let her go. Janae was out again and she was released because, like I said, everything was just circumstantial. They just thought she did it, and they didn't even really honestly look for another person. They just was like, she the closest, she kind of looked like the lady in the film, it's her. So while Janae is out doing her thing, her and her mother-in-law actually kind of get into a battle with the insurance company and each other because they both wanted to claim the life insurance that Todd had, which was 4 policies that equal like $500,000. But in Janae's case, they wasn't trying to give her the money because they wasn't sure if she was the one who killed him. So if they gave her the money and she ended up being the one who killed him, they was shitted. But now she shitted because she's been let go. They don't have no evidence. She ain't been charged with nothing. So she don't know why she can't get the money. And the insurance company like, you not getting no money. I don't know what the deal was with his mom, but whatever. The insurance company wasn't trying to pay out, and Janae was back and forth in court for that. Even though Janae was out and she wasn't charged for nothing, the investigators still wasn't giving up. They still believed wholeheartedly that Janae was the cause of Todd's death. They thought that she was the murderer. So they was sending the bullets in for testing that were found from Todd, and the bullets that was found from the gun. They sent in Janae's computer because, like I said earlier, she said that she was at home on the day that Todd was murdered, and she was on the computer doing stuff for school. So they sent that off for analysis. They sent the car to dust it for fingerprints. Like, they was doing their whole 9 yards, because if they was going to prosecute Janae, they was not going to have her get out a second time. So they was doing their due diligence, and it would take another 3 years before they had all the evidence that they felt like they needed to arrest Janae again, basically. And so on December 1st of 2016, Janae was rearrested. Once they got Janae rearrested and charged with first-degree murder of her husband, Todd Chance, they brought Janae's daughter, Jessica, in under the guise that there was new developments in the case. I don't think she knew her mother was arrested right at this point, but they brought her in under the guise that there was new developments in the case. So once they got her down to the police station, they showed Jessica the surveillance videos of what they believed was Janae. Now, one of the first things that Jessica said when she got into the interrogation room and they started showing her, or started playing the video, was, "Oh my God, did y'all find that red backpack? My mom has one just like it." And so the police was like, "Well, do this look like your mom?" And she was like, oh, like, she was distraught. She was devastated. She was crying, bawling her eyes out, like, "Oh my gosh, yes, that looks just like her." And they were like, "So if that's your mom, then..." That's when they felt like that was it. This was a slam dunk case, because not only was Jessica saying that this looked like her mama, but the analysis had came back on the computer and it determined that Janae was not on the computer at the time of Todd's death. And they also determined that there was some fingerprints found in Todd's car, and it was on the steering wheel and on the gear shift. And can y'all guess whose fingerprints they were? I bet you can. I bet you can. They was Janae fingerprints. Now remember y'all, a couple minutes ago, I said that Janae said that she never drove that car because Todd never let nobody drive that car. So how your fingerprints get there, Janae? But she said it was an anomaly, and that she don't know how her fingerprints got there. They was dead ass wrong. She ain't do nothing. But of course, they didn't believe her, and so, like I said, she was booked and charged for first-degree murder. Her trial was set to start in early of 2019. However, before it even got a chance to start, it was declared a mistrial because of a conflict of interest. Now, whose conflict of interest? I don't know. But there was a mistrial because of conflict of interest, so the trial would have had to been pushed back. The trial didn't end up starting until December of 2019, and the defense was basically that her fingerprints was on the steering wheel and on the gear shift. And if she never drove the car, then how did it get there? Todd was killed with his own gun that was missing from the house. And Janae was never on the computer that she said she was on at the time of his murder. They also found a picture while they were searching the house of the Chance family. at an exhibit. It was at a crime exhibit at the MGM Hotel in Las Vegas, where you pretty much just go through the exhibit and you're the detective, and you have to like go through the crime scene and figure out either who done it or something like that. I don't really know, but it sounds something like something cool that I would want to go to, because hello, junior detective over here. But they found that, and in this crime and in this exhibit, there's a particular one where a wife kills her husband and she leaves him in a desolate area, and it tells you how to get rid of evidence, like with bleach, and how trace evidence can get on shoes, and basically just how to clean the crime scene with bleach and stuff like that. And if y'all remember, the person in the video had what appeared to be a can of bleach wipes, and they knew that the car was wiped down. And they also noticed that the person in the video, they changed their shoes, they changed their clothes, they did everything that was like, I guess, taught in that exhibit. So, and in addition to all of that, the defense said that Janae was pretty much just pissed off because she found all those racy photos of Carrie in Todd's phone, and she just wasn't about to have it, and so she had to get rid of him. Did I say the defense's argument? I meant that was the prosecution's argument. And so now the defense, they basically was saying that she's not guilty because they don't know who it was in that video. It's a couple of people who say it was her, but then it's people who was also close to her who said that it wasn't her. So y'all don't know. It could have been her and it couldn't have been her. But that right there, it provides reasonable doubt, so she's not guilty. But the jury will end up siding with the prosecutors, and they sentenced Janae to 50 years to life in prison. And yeah, that is pretty much where she stays to this day. But let me tell you something real quick, because it's a couple of times during the research of this video that I felt personally victimized by Regina George. Because let me tell you why. Not only is this woman's name Janae. Hello, I told y'all in the beginning, that's me if you didn't know. I'm Janae. That's my name. So not only is her name Janae, her and Todd got married on August 17th of 1996. August 17th is my son's birthday. She killed this man on August 25th of 2013. August 25th, that's my birthday. And her daughter's name is Jessica. Now, I know that don't seem relevant, but I know y'all remember, or I know there was a time in y'all life when y'all gave a fake name to a dude that y'all didn't really want to talk to. Yeah, Jessica, that was me. So I'm like, damn, girl. Is you me? Is the universe trying to tell me something? Lord, please don't be trying to tell me nothing, because I'm not trying to kill my husband. I don't know. I just had to do this case because, if for nothing else, for those reasons. I mean, the case was interesting enough as it is, but like, what are the odds, y'all? What are the odds? I don't know. But let me know what y'all think, though, because technically they don't know who it was on that video. So it could not be her, but it could be her also. So let's just say that it's not her, right? Like, let's just say that the jury is wrong and Janae did not do this, right? My personal opinion, she fucked herself when she said she's never driven the car. Because if you never drove the car, then why are your fingerprints on the steering wheel and the gear shift? Like, But at the same time, what if she just said that because she was scared? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, personally, I think it was her. But is the off chance that it wasn't her. Just let me know what y'all think. Just tell me what y'all think. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. I got more videos like this if you want to see them right here. Y'all can subscribe to me right here. Don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. I know I just fucked that up, but just go ahead and subscribe because, hello, why not? But anyways, y'all, thank you so very much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.